So this series has had a somewhat of an unlikely rise in popularity. Did you ever foresee this continuing as a series when you first started?
Gosh, when I first started, I mean, this was a very low budget, small movie with a first-time director and a bunch of actors who'd never done action before. So I think we all really believed in the idea of it, but, you know, we didn't know how it would actually come out. And I think once we saw it, you know, everybody was very excited, but it has kind of taken on a much more of a life than maybe anybody expected.
This has opened you up to a whole new rabid fan base of genre fans.
Yeah.
Have you gotten used to that? And what's your take on this crowd so far?
I have never had fans who wear my costume before. You know, it's a different thing. You know, so they don't rush after me in the street in the outfit, but I've seen them in comic book conventions and stuff. It's pretty wild.
What was the prep like in comparison to the first film as far as the training was involved?
It seemed so easy. I had such a long way to go on the first one because I'd literally only done, you know, taken ballet lessons. That was about as far as I got in terms of action.
Right.
So they really had to teach me how to run not like a girl, you know, and hold a gun and all that. So that was all done. But it was really, you know, working on the specific wire stunts and all the fight choreography and all of that. So there was a lot of it, but it wasn't quite as terrifying to me as it was the first time.
Right. You got a much bigger budget this time and much more elaborate effects. Was it a different atmosphere on set? Was it taking a lot longer to get prepared for these scenes with more wire work and things like that?
It was a bigger budget, but you know, I think the you know, certainly the lens vision increases with the budget, so it feels kind of just the same kind of scramble. There's never enough money, there's never enough time. It's always the same story, however big the movie, and I've done some big ones. It's always like that on those. But you know, it was very nice to actually have a chance to do a fight sequence properly, rather than, you know, have people dragged around on pieces of carpet and stuff like that we had last time.
You take a real rise in some of the intense action sequences you do in this. Was there any close calls on set?
We hurt ourselves a bunch. I mean, I think that's the nice thing that actors like to kind of show each other their bruises and see who worked hard and all that. And I had a terrible, I burst into tears one day, so I actually punched one of my favourite stuntmen full in the face by accident during a fight scene, and that really upset me. It's one thing pretending to hit somebody, but then when you actually hit somebody you really like, it's very upsetting. I don't know how the boxers do it.
So what was the toughest sequence, which turned out to be the trickiest or required the most takes?
Gosh, there was a few of them. There was a scene where I sit down in a tunnel and I've got werewolves charging at me and, you know, stabbing them. That scene, I felt like I was in that tunnel for about 2 years. That took a really long time. But the love scene was hard going for Scott.
Right.
I didn't enjoy that at all.
Yeah. So where do you see the character going from here? Are you already thinking about a sequel?
I don't know. I mean, I think originally that, you know, Len and Danny conceived 3 movies, and you know, I don't know whether we'll do another one or not. I know Len would like to do a movie where he doesn't have furry, wolfy creatures first, you know, and you know, and this is a lovely thing for me to do, but it's not kind of like my thing, you know, so much. So it was great to test myself out, but I don't know whether I want to do like 8 of them or not.
Right. Has Len given you any talk so far on where you would see the character going?
I think that originally when they were talking about it, it was going to be a prequel. I'm not sure whether they ever planned on Celine even being in it, so it may happen, and I haven't been a vampire yet, so who knows?
Real quick last question, I just want to ask about the character you play in Click. I know that's the next thing you have coming up.
Yeah, I play, Adam Sandler plays a very workaholic architect, and I'm his wife, who he's rather neglecting with his kids, and I think that's going to be a really funny movie.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.